guys prefer to do as a team that as much of the 2024 we can get rid of, or I guess leave in the rearview mirror? That you guys prefer that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I took the playoff stickers off my helmet, off the water bottles, everything. I just kind of want to move forward. Um, don't get me wrong; it was a great experience. It was an awesome accomplishment, but at the end of the day, we didn't finish the job, and that's what we're working towards this year. So, just don't want to be constantly reminded of this is what you did last year. So, that's time to move forward with it.
What pieces of last year do you carry?
I would just say lessons from losses, lessons from wins. Um, Physically, I didn't really keep anything from the playoffs. Kind of just took it home, gave it to my family. Um, I'd rather just move forward and be ready for this year, and I'd rather just bring a ring home instead of a blanket or a pillow. So that's what we're working towards.
How long did it take you to get over the Notre Dame loss?
I'd probably say it took like a solid week. Going home, being with some family, having a lot of conversations. Um, it's just definitely not a feeling that was good, but there was so much to learn from it, and I got so many lessons from it that, like at the end of the day, we kind of needed to be a better team going forward for this year. So, yeah, probably a week was the max.
Talk a lot about the mindset of last season's team, the focus. Is there any kind of shift in mindset, even if it's a slight difference this year heading into the season?
Not really. I will say, early in this off season, we had some young guys, some transfers that may have been a little iffy and may have been, kind of questioning some things and, thinking they were above the program a little bit. But at this point, the off season, it feels like everybody's bought in. Everybody's all for what we're trying to do and, the blueprint that we have to be successful.
If you had to describe or kind of just give a definition of the focus and mindset for this program heading into the season, how would you describe it?
I feel like the easy answer would just say locked in. I do think it's just a collective effort to make sure we're not letting outside noise in. You're going to hear it all season long. Can they repeat? Was it a fluke? All these things. But it's really all about the people in the building. And I think that's what we need to focus on. So just keeping that mindset of just being locked in, worrying about what we have in the building, and kind of eliminating the clutter outside of it.
Is that on you guys, the coaches? Who's that on?
I think it's on all of us, especially the three guys that are here as leaders. I think we need to do the best job of it. But the coaches, the trainers, everybody, we all got to be locked in on it.
As leaders, now you have a full season of Big Ten football under your belt, so it's a different perspective than you had last year. How did that affect the way that you're approaching this season in terms of prep, in terms of just getting yourself ready to think about what you need to do going into the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big difference from last year. Last year, you come in and you kind of do question some things. You're coming from a group of five program to now, you're in the Big Ten, you're in the best conference in the country. But at this point, we've seen the best that there is. We've seen the best talent in the country. So there's no question anything anymore. We know that we belong here. We know that we can dominate this level. So the confidence thing, it won't be a problem for this program anymore.
I talked about with you about this earlier with Coach Haynes. You said before you heard about the rumors swirling and stuff. This offseason especially, how much of that did you hear and sort of? You said you talked to him. When he decided to come back to IU, just what were those conversations like?
I mean, Twitter is just phenomenal with how they break news. They're so fast with it. But I would just say, like, me and him have a lot of honest and transparent conversations. If anything were to happen, I think he would have let me know. But I knew ultimately he wanted to be at IU. I know he wanted to be with Coach Sig and kind of just keep improving from where we were. I think we were in a really good spot. And now we're just going to keep improving on that and keep getting better.
But you've seen it firsthand, like the loyalty within the staff, all of the following into IU and staying with SIG. Can you kind of feel that from the staff? How long they've been together.
Yeah, and I also think it just speaks volumes about Coach Sig. You can keep a staff like this together for, I mean, it's what 8+ years. It's really incredible. The guys that are on the staff could leave and be head coaches at any Power Four, any Group of Five, and they probably have been offered that. But it's just a loyalty and how they're treated here is really special. I think they really embrace that.
How has the stadium experience changed for you as a player? The first game you played at Memorial until that bucket game, it had to be something really fascinating to witness being on the field.
Oh yeah, it was unreal. The first game, I think a lot of people weren't very sure about the new Indiana and how we were gonna, if winning was gonna be something that we kind of kept doing. By the time we hit the Nebraska game, I think is really when it changed. Everybody was bought in. There wasn't a seat open in that stadium, and it was a surreal feeling. It was awesome seeing that many people there waving the towels. Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Do you like that term, the new Indiana versus the old Indiana?
I'm iffy about it, but I find myself using it a lot, so I think I do have to be a fan of it. It's just such a big difference between the way that we run this program versus how it was run in the past. So I think it's respectfully okay to use, but it's not something I'd like tag or anything for myself.
Kurt Cincinnati has a lot of different phrases, fast, physical, relentless, humble, hungry, stalk, complacency. Do you have a favorite that resonates with you?
Um, Not a line, but there was one time he told us a story about it's either a glass ball or a rubber ball. The glass ball you drop, it shatters, and it's the rubber ball bounce back. And it's kind of like being relentless. So that's been my favorite that I've kind of carried with me. But that's definitely his best one, I think.
I was asking Elijah this. Is Kurt different in these settings than he is with you guys?
No, no way.
Cameras on?
Yeah, no. Coach Sig is always the same. He's always genuine, the same person that since I met when I took my first recruiting visit to James Madison.
Do you like this? See him be a little brash with the media and everything like that? Is that fun to watch?
I mean, yeah, it's interesting. Everybody's gathered around to hear what he's going to say next, but I think he does a great job with it. He never says anything that's too out of line, and I think what he says is perfect, and it rubs off on his players, and we carry that confidence like he does. And I think he does a great job with it.
We know you guys were confident last year. Is there a different level that confidence reaches now that you've had success in the year?
Yeah, I think there has to be. Kind of branching off the earlier questions, like we've seen the best of the best. We've competed with the best of the best, and I think now like our goal is to be the best of the best. So it's all about confidence and growing, learning from all those lessons that we learned last year. And now, like, if your confidence isn't high at playing for this program, then you're in the wrong place.
Do you guys believe you belong at the top level?
100%. 100%.
First question: what part of your game do you believe makes you different from everyone else in the Big Ten?
Me personally, I think my leadership and the way I'm able to bring people along and kind of better my teammates, and just the way I play, it's kind of like a different mindset than a lot of people.
I feel that. And if your coach is in a movie, who would play him and why?
I don't know. That's a really good, hard question. Coach Sig is a very different person. I mean, DiCaprio can play anybody, so I got to give it to him.
Love that. And then last one: if the NCAA did a college version of Hard Knocks, who on your team would be the main character and why?
Tyreek Tucker. He is the funniest person I've seen, hands down. And the camera would just be on him the entire time. It's like you can't miss a moment with him.
Love that. Thank you.
Yep.
I guess going towards the linebacker, we talked about Elijah, we talked about Isaiah. What have you seen from some of the younger guys like Aiden Fisher and PJ Nelson?
Yeah, PJ's come a long way since spring. From spring practice 1, you can tell he was a young guy. But moving forward, he really started to develop, started to grow mentally. And our defense, the mental gymnastics is the tough part. And he's done a great job handling it, asking me questions, getting in the film room with me. So I'm really excited about him. Caden Turner is an older guy, knows the system. And, I think now he's really starting to understand it versus last year. And he played great all spring, had a great spring game as well.
Talk about the shift and transitioning coming in last year, trying to build this winning culture. Now in year 2, how does it look like continuing to build that?
Yeah, I think it's different just because we have the culture set. We have the standard is reestablished. So now it's more so about getting the new guys in, getting them adapted to it, getting them accustomed to kind of how we run things, how we do things. But we're way further along than we were last year, and I think that just speaks to so much returning production and players. What's up, bro?
How's it going, man?
Good. How you doing?
Right. When did you feel like you kind of found, who you are, kind of found comfort in speaking up and talking about it?
That's a really good question. I think honestly, last year at this event, being able to share my story here, I kind of kept that to myself a lot. And then being able to share it here, I realized how much impact I can have on other people's lives. And the platform I've been given, I'm blessed by the Lord to be given this platform and, kind of bring and shine a light on Him and, He can shine through me. But just the impact I can have on people by sharing that story and being vulnerable a little bit, it goes a long way. And I know from last year and then the Notre Dame, the special before the game, I had a lot of people reach out and just kind of appreciate that. So I would just say last year I really kind of found my voice a little bit.
What kind kind of say it's like captain-like traits, right? Was there a point maybe in high school where you just kind of like stepped up and you're like, all right, I want to take this role?
Yeah, I feel like it's always been after my freshman year or something. Freshman year of high school, freshman year of college. Um, I've always had that drive and ambition to be the best. And after the freshman year of high school, I kind of just took off, took a leadership role, and kind of rolled with it. And the same thing with college. After my freshman year, I really dedicated myself to football, film, study, all that. So I really kind of just dove in and, just adopted everything that comes with it.
I learned last week you played QB and running back in high school. Right?
Yeah.
Were you recruited at all there?
No, I mean, Army as a fullback, but I don't know if I'm counting that one.
You heavily consider it, no?
No, no. Once Coach Sig offered me, I was pretty locked in with JMU.
Did you enjoy playing offense?
I did. I thought it was fun. In high school, my senior year, I was like 1,000-yard rusher, so it was fun. I was returning kicks. I was doing a bunch of random stuff, but defense is always where I feel like I really, truly belonged.
I'm a Kyle. Where is his next step as a player?
I think he's already taken it as a leader. He is the way that he's been able to carry himself after last year, and everything he does, he brings people with him. He's bettering people at all times. Everybody's getting better because they're around him. In a years past, when he works out, he goes alone. He likes to be alone watching film, likes to be alone working out, but now he's bringing everybody with him. So that's making the entire room better. He's a way better leader now than he was, and he's always been a great one. But I just think now it's really special to see.
He's also been very outspoken about player of the year. Like, he wants to win player of the year. What does it say about him that he wants that pressure on his shoulders?
I think it's good. I mean, I think me and him are very like-minded because we're chasing the same things, but it's something where if you speak it into existence, I think that's something he really believes in, and it's worked for him. So I just think his confidence level is at an all-time high. The things that he wants, he's going to chase it, he's going to go get. So it's really good to hear him talk about these things because I think he does a great job chasing these things and keeping it at the forefront of his mind.
I just kind of you, like 2022 you. You mentioned you haven't really changed much off field. On field, obviously, you have. At what point did JMU kind of like how to play linebacker, how to compete at a high level?
The spring of my freshman year after the season, I was watching film 2 hours a day, making sure that there was no stone unturned. I wanted to make sure I knew everything. I wanted to make sure that I was working out as much as possible, getting extra work. So everything worked out for me, and I was able to really dedicate myself to all that. I think that's where I took that next step and really changed the way of my college career.